Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here, and today I'll be giving you guys my NPA National Players Association Week 1 matchup against Ben, coach of the Waikato Watchogs. And as you can see on your screen, we have a completely different aspect of creative arts. As you can see, we do have a thumbnail on your screen. Oh my god, we have a thumbnail finally. If you watch any of my previous videos prior to this, then you would see that I didn't really have a thumbnail for my league matches, mainly just the matchup thing that I always make for my matches. But I still have that. I'm gonna incorporate it differently for this video and throw out all my league matches from what I can say for now. But other than that, we got this clean thumbnail here. We got the Big Island Weasels. We are your Big Island Weasels. I am your coach. Dark City Dabsos are retired, and you know it's not 2016 anymore. So you gotta make a change. 7 months later, I'm still using the same name, but we're still here with the Big Island Weasels. New logo, new everything, new thumbnail. And if you guys notice from all the videos I've made, then you would see that I've kind of used the same background like every single time. Like if you look at your screen, then you'll see on the corners. That's the same. It's the same freaking background. It's just I've made a color change or something, or I've used it in some way to where I can incorporate it. Like for this, I've used it as my league thumbnail. So I like it's the background for everything. But I enjoy it. I'm satisfied with it, and that's how I started with all my design things. So that's how we're gonna start it off with the basis. But other than that, we got a clean thumbnail here with our logo, our opponent, with the records, the league, and we also have a league logo, which probably looks like crap to some of y'all, but I like it, and you know it's decent. It's decent enough for me, if not more decent, more than enough at least. But other than that, we're gonna get right into the matchup, team builder and match, as we did already have the match, of course. But of course, this is week 1, so very important week, as if we lose this match, then we're gonna have a pretty bad start to the season. As looking at everyone, I'm actually familiar with all of them, so looking at the competition, this is gonna be hard. 10 people, only 4 make playoffs. Oh my god, the fight is gonna be real. Like I can't even guarantee like who's even gonna make playoffs at this point. Like just from looking at all the people that are joining, like it's gonna be hard to like even comprehend. But other than that, we're gonna get right into the team builder, as we see here. Oh, goodbye thumbnail. Well, we do have it right here, and like I said, we did still incorporate that little team matchup little thing on the bottom right corner of your screen, and I kind of layered it out differently for this video. Same concept, is just I've kind of just organized it differently to my liking. But first up, we got Drampa. But first off, hold on. Before I get into that, you guys already see the set and what the sound we're running for our Drampa. But if you look in the bottom right hand corner, that is Ben's team. Looking at Ben's team, he has a pretty threatening team. A few holes that I can see, but very threatening team nonetheless. Tornado Starion, very fast at 122. Dragonite was also very threatening with freaking multi-skill. If you don't break that multi-skill, it sets up a DD on you. Team's weakened, you're most likely getting swept. Rotom Heat, pretty decent Volt Switcher. Only recovery and pain split, but that nice overheat stab as well. Only bad part is it does get a special attack drop, so I mean it really depends on how you can utilize it. But looking at Rotom in my team, it can really do a lot of work, as you know, it can Volt Switch around, it can weaken my Wishy-Washy, it can burn my Dawn Fan, it can it can be Scarfed and Volt Switch my Halucha, it can be Scarf with Trick and Trick my Umbreon. It can overheat both of my Registeel and Scolipede. So there's a lot of stuff that this Rotom Heat can do. So I got one little tech in the back that's gonna help me. It's gonna help me put up against that. Hold on. All right, sorry for the little pause, but yeah, just there's something in my throat. It really hurts. I should probably get some water. But he dropped the Mega Aggron. Now, you guys probably heard this from me multiple times, but the first league title I ever won, it was with a Mega Aggron. And to go up against it like this is really heartbreaking, because I know how good Mega Aggron is. Like, if used to its full potential, it can be really threatening and really bulky and annoying to take down. And with my team, it's not going to be easy for me to take down depending on what Pokemon is in on it. But we'll see from there on out. But he drafted his team mascot, and I was thinking of drafting Floatzel, like Weasel's daddy, but You know, he drafted the Watchog. It can be threatening. I'm not saying it's trash, but analytic crap, I can't talk. Analytic stab boosted return does a lot. Hypnosis is annoying from what I've seen from randoms. And it also gets knockoff as well. So pretty cool tech there. And it also gets stuff like Seed Bomb and Gunk Shot. I know Seed Bomb for sure. I don't know about Gunk Shot. But also, he also drafted Mesprit. Pretty good rock user as it takes out the pressure of Mega Aggron. He got Tentacle, Toxic Spike user, really fast at base 100. Polytoad, which was pretty confusing for me when he drafted, considering that it's usually used for rain teams. But looking at Polytoad, it can benefit him with the Aggron, with the Tentacruel, with the Rotom Heat if it runs Thunder, Tornado Starion for Hurricane, and also the Tangrowth, which we'll talk about next. Tangrowth's great on the physical side, but on the special side, if you're running like no special Invest or Assault Vest, then it's not taking an Ice Beam. And next up, second to last, he got Electros, another electric type Pokemon, really slow Volt Switcher and U-Turner, immense amount of coverage, only weak to ground, but without that Levitate, but with that Levitate it has no weaknesses whatsoever. And finally we have Conkeldurr, which can actually be pretty threatening to my team, but maybe he'll be hesitant to bring it because of my Shadow tag Gothitelle, but we will see later on. But now we can finally head into the draft, into our team builder here. We have Tatai, our Jampa. None of y'all are going to get this reference. If you do, I'm going to be surprised. But we got leftovers with Sap Sipper for the Tangrowth, because if he brings that Tangrowth, it's actually going to be hard for my team to take down. Like, with the team I'm bringing, it's going to be hard for me to take down. So I need Sap Sipper. I need to stop that thing in its tracks. I could take a knockoff. I could take a Rock Slide. I could take any grass type move. I don't want to get Leech Seeded either. Berserk would be nice, but I think Sap Sipper would be more beneficial in the long run. So we got Dragon Pulse, Roost, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower. Roost for reliable recovery, Dragon Pulse remains stab, and Thunderbolt to hit the Tornadus, Tentacruel, and Polytoad, and Flamethrower to hit the Mega Aggron, which, like I said, my team doesn't have much for, and also the Tangrowth. Now, Dragon Pulse also hits the Dragonite, and with my 220 HP and 44 defense investment, I can take a Jolly Max Attack Dragon Claw from Dragonite at full, guaranteed, as long as it's not Outrage. If it's Adamant, I'd probably die. Thing is that, he probably won't click Dragon Claw straight up. He probably predict me to switch, but you know, you never know. So that's one good thing. He probably won't bring Outrage because I have two fairy types, and I don't know. Dragon Pulse hits Rotom for good damage, hits Watchog and Mesprit for good damage, and also Electros and Conkeldurr. So that's really good there. Mainly Spadef with a calm nature, as this Pokemon has a pretty good matchup against his team, as his 4 bottom Pokemon are his Aggron, Conkeldurr, Electros, Tangrowth, they're all really slow. So with a little bit of speed investment at 124 EVs, Drampa can outspeed all of them and get decent damage on just all of them. And yeah, I like speed control, so that's one good thing. Polytoad's at too much of a base stat for me to speed creep, it'd be too much of a waste. And Watchog is probably going to run speed investment, and so has Mesprit probably. But other than that, that is our Drampa right there. And now we're going to head right into our Z move Mon being Hawlucha. We got Huzzah holding the Rock EMZ with Mold Breaker. We got High Jump Kick, Stone Edge, Flying Press, and Swords Dance. 140 HP, 252 Adamant, 108 speed to outspeed max speed Rotom Heat, I believe. Because I don't think it's bringing max speed Tentacruel. And other than Tentacruel, his second fastest Mon after that is Rotom Heat. So that's all the speed I need, and with that speed, and with the speed difference, I can just run Adamant, put as much damage off as possible. Mold Breaker is nice as it does allow me to break through multi-scale and let me kill with the Z Stone Edge, which does guarantee kill against the Dragonite. I can also guarantee kill against the Rotom Heat if it's not physically defensive, and with the filter on Mega Aggron, I can break through that with Mold Breaker and click High Jump Kick and get around 50% off, if much, around an average of 50%. So that's really great with Mega Aggron. Though even like you would expect High Jump Kick to do more, but with Hawlucha having a base 92 attack stat, you really can't expect much from it. So just to be thankful that it has Mold Breaker, I can break through filter at least and do at least 50% for it to be a 2-hit KO. I kill Watchog, and I have Flying Press as well. Flying Press is there for Conkeldurr and Tangrowth, as because I am not unburdened, because I'm not unburdened, I'm not running Power Herb Sky Attack, I'm not running Acrobatics or with Citrus Berry, and my only other option in terms of a flying move is either Sky Drop, Fly, Aerial Ace, Wing Attack, or Flying Press. Flying Press is probably my best option. Base 90 attack, base 90 or 95 attack. hits Conkeldurr for super effective damage, hits Tangrowth for super effective damage, and I think that's about it. Aggron is neutral, Watchog is super effective, Politoed's neutral, Mesprit, Tentacle, Tornadus, and Dragonite all resist because of fighting. But other than that, 2 of those 4 mons I just mentioned I kill with Z Stone Edge. The only problem with this set is that because I'm not running on Burden, I don't outspeed the Tornadus in any way, so taking that thing down is going to be a huge problem. But I do have one main counter to it, or kind of like 3 main ways to counter it, but one specific mon to counter it, and I can't wait to show it off. And SD, if I get a chance to set up, I could bring something else, but I think SD would be a great way to sweep late game if I can get rid of the Tornadus. Third out, we got Gilbert the Donphan holding the Rocky Helmet with Sturdy, and this is basically my physically defensive wall for Conkeldurr and Mega Aggron. With Conkeldurr actually rips through the team I'm bringing, so I need some sort of switch in or way to weaken it, and that's what this physically defensive Donphan is here for with the Rocky Helmet. So even if it does click Drain Punch, it's still going to take some damage. I click Earthquake, I get like at least on an average of 35%. Ice Shard for Dragonite if Multi-Tail's broken, or just to break its multi-skill in general, but I gotta watch out for weakness policy, so I probably just click Knockoff. But I also have Rocks. Rocks is great to wear down the Rotom Heat, the Electros, the Tornadus Starion, so it doesn't, like, it's always, so like when Tornadus Starion, if it took some damage, at least with the Rocks, it will still maintain at that percentage it was beforehand. Dragonite, I can get rid of its multi-scale, and I can also weaken stuff like Mesprit. The thing is with this team is that he doesn't have any sort of wish users, and the only way he can, like, heal his Pokemon foreignly is Healing Wish on Mesprit, but other than that, he doesn't have any sort of wish users at all, so taking advantage of Rocks in this game is going to be great. He only has 1, or kind of 2 ways to get rid of hazards, but one way being Defog Dragonite, which probably won't happen because you can't have Defog and multi-scale, and the only other option is Tentacruel, and I think Tentacruel is not going to be an option, especially with Drampa, so I feel pretty good there. I'm gonna have a little bit of speed investment because we speed tie with Mega Aggron, so 20 just in case he tries to speed creep us, or at least put like 4 investments in so he speed ties us or just outspeed us, maybe thinking that we won't have any speed investment. But the thing is that I need speed control. Now our 4th mon here, I'm so excited to talk about. We have Velveeta the Dedenne holding the Kebia Berry, Cheek Pouch with Nuzzle, Super Fang, Toxic, and Volt Switch. We got 244 HP, almost max HP with 4 defense, 4 special attack, 164 SPDEF, and a 92 EVs in speed. With a timid nature, this is basically my Tornadus counter. Looking at a calc, I wish I was good at editing, video editing, but I will tell you right now that a Life Orb 252 special attack Tornadus with Sludge Wave does 40 to 49.7% to the Dedenne. I take less than 50% with the Kebia Berry. I get that 25% back with Cheek Pouch, and if I can get that Nuzzle off, I'm good. Nuzzle is going to be so great against Tornadus, also great against Dragonite, and also pretty good against stuff like Mesprit and Tentacruel, which are decently fast. So if I can paralyze Tornadus, my Drampa probably won't outspeed it, but at least the paralysis is there to chance it. I can Thunderbolt it. Hawlucha will guarantee outspeed, and I can click Rocky MZ or even Stone Edge alone. Donphan can click Knockoff or Ice Shard, and with the Dedenne, I can just click Super Fang, Toxic, well not Toxic, Super Fang and Volt Switch. Super Fang is to get damage on stuff like Dragonite, Tangrowth, Electros, since Electros doesn't really have any reliable recovery, Rotom Heat, and also Mega Aggron as well. So Super Fang is going to be really clutch. Toxic for stuff like Electros and Tangrowth, and Volt Switch for the initiative, as he doesn't have any sort of ground type. So I mean, I could bring U-Turn for Tangrowth, but I think Volt Switch would be better for the stab, and also hit Tornadus for super effective damage. So I really like this set. He'll probably bring in Tornadus thinking like, oh, I can kill the Dedenne with Sludge Wave, and I'm Life Orb. JK, we're running all this SPDEF and HP investment. We got the Kebia Berry. We're living any hit you got. Heat Wave does like the same amount of damage. Hurricane does less. And yeah, I mean, if he knocks me off, then at least I get to Nuzzle it. Worst case scenario is that he U-turns me out. He U-turns me like every time I switch into Dedenne, gets me below 50%, and then clicks Sludge Wave. That would be a problem. But I don't imagine that happening. But next up, we have Umbreon, Moonrise Umbreon holding the leftovers. We got Psychic, Toxic, Psychic, Wish, Toxic, Baton Pass, almost max HP, Physically defensive with a calm nature. Psychic to hit Conkeldurr. I could bring Foul Play, but I like Psychic. Wish for the recovery. Toxic for Rotom, Electros, and Mesprit. And also Baton Pass, because I love Baton Pass. And last but not least, we have Tilapia holding the Assault Vest. Not a berry, an Assault Vest. We got Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, U-Turn, Earthquake, Earthquake for Tentacle, almost max HP with 100 defense, 36 Spadef, and we have 124 speed Timid to outspeed a non-invested speed Politoed, I think. Yeah, non-invested speed Politoed, and we can Earthquake it. But other than that, I think it's time to get into this battle. I don't know how long I've been recording, but yeah, I can't. Wow. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So, yeah, I didn't have the video open when I recorded. So, yep, brought it up here, and yeah, a little lag right there. And as you can see on the screen, we have Electros, Tornadus, Mega Aggron, Mesprit, Politoed, and Conkeldurr. So, a lot of things, there's like some certain things I didn't expect. I thought he would bring Tangrowth, and I didn't expect the Politoed. So, I mean, everything else seems pretty alright. Dragonite, it was kind of iffy, but I mean, I could still use Rock EMZ on stuff like Mesprit to get as much damage out as possible, and maybe catch it with Tornadus on switching. But overall, looking at leads, my only really good lead was the Dene, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna lead with. I'm gonna lead with the Dene, as he's gonna go ahead and lead with the Tornadus Therian, and this is a perfect situation for me. So if this man has Sludge Wave, he can go ahead and click it now. I mean, no reason not to, right? Hey, right. I mean, if he has Sludge Wave and he clicks it right now, that's going to be great. So here I'm just going to click Nuzzle on the odd chance he does. But here he actually hard switches, goes into Electros as I go for the Nuzzle. So I can understand his play right there, probably risking me not to be Scarf if I was Scarf potentially. And he just hard switched instead, so I like that play. And here I'm just going to Volt Switch out of here. And as I Volt Switch, I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can go into Donphan. But I think I'm going to go into Drampa, because this thing, I don't think Electros can do anything to Drampa. And I think my switch into Donphan is pretty obvious, as Donphan usually does wall this thing pretty well, unless it has Giga Drain. So here I'm going to go into my Drampa instead. I was tempting to go into Donphan, but I went into Drampa. So here I go into Tatai. He goes for Giga Drain, and we get that Sap Super Boost. So it was kind of unintentionally like a play, but I mean, it was my safe play overall. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and just click Dragon Pulse. We get a nice 30% off, and this man pulls out his own Dragon Pulse and does like 50%. So that's unfortunate there. But looking at that, with our speed investment, we actually outsped this turn, so that's actually really great to know that we outspeed. So here I'm gonna click Roost, but here he clicks Volt Switch and outspeeds it this time, so that's unfortunate. But here he goes into Aggron as I click Roost. And looking at the calc, if he's Spadef, then if he's physically defensive, then Flamethrower should do like almost 50%. If he's Spadef, I'll be doing like 30%. But either way, if he's physically defensive or especially defensive, he's not gonna be max attack adamant. In which case, Ice Punch won't 2-hit KO me, or like guarantee 2-hit KO me. So here I'm gonna go ahead and just safely click Flamethrower. As he does make Evolve and stay in, I'm gonna click Flamethrower. We get the Flamethrower off. We do around almost 40% as this man gets up his rocks. So unfortunate, as I don't have any way to get rid of them because I didn't bring Rapid Spin, but that's fine. But here he's gonna go on his Conkeldurr as I go for Flamethrower again. And I don't know if this man was banking on the chance he would get a burn, or maybe he was Guts Assault Vest. But oh yeah, this thing is Assault Vest. But here I can't stay in. I'm gonna go into my dedicated counter, being Gilbert the Donphan. And I was like, maybe he'll click Ice Punch, but it goes for Drain Punch. So, I mean, that's pretty good on RN, actually, because Ice Punch would have done more. But here I click Earthquake just to get some damage off, as he does go for the knockoff, actually. So, more chip on his part. And now, this is the play. This is the play. So, seeing that Donphan outsped the Conkeldurr, he can't risk his Donphan. He can't risk a Conkeldurr dying, because I thought he would keep this Conkeldurr for something like Umbreon, or to keep it for Drampa or something. Well, one thing's for sure is that I didn't expect him to stay in, as you guys will see, as here I predict him to switch out into one of his 3 ground immunities, and I go for Rocks, as he actually stays in, clicks Drain Punch, and he gets a little bit of his health back. And here Earthquake does like an average of 35%, if not guaranteed at least 35%. So assuming he doesn't have Mach Punch, I should kill, and if he did have Mach Punch, then it would have been a roll. He probably he had to get in a low roll if he had Mach Punch. But seeing that he didn't click Ice Punch, I was kind of surprised he didn't click Ice Punch at all. But I mean, it's all good with me. I mean, the only thing bad about this is that I lose a lot more health on my Dawn Fan, but at least I get up my rocks, and I do get rid of this Conkeldurr, which was a threat to my Drampa and my Umbreon, so that's really good. We got rid of the Dawn Fan, we got rid of the Conkeldurr, got our rocks up, and now he brings in the Politoed. Now, naturally, when I think of Politoed, I think of like defensive with like Resto, Chesto, Toxic, Scald, something like that. So with that mindset, I'm gonna go ahead and save this Dawn Fan for fodder and go into my Umbreon. I should be able to take 2 hits and wish up. But this man pulls out the Scald, and it does like over 50%. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? Looking at calcs, this is a modest max special attack. Specs Politoed, Scald in the Rain. 56%. 2-hit kills my Umbreon. If I was max for def, I would have taken this hit like really well. But I'm not. And I basically sack off my Umbreon. The only good part about this is that he gets the burn and Synchronize activates, but basically this Umbreon came here to die. Basically. So really wasn't expecting specs on that Politoed. Really threw me off guard. Umbreon basically Wishy-Washy relied on Umbreon for recovery. So basically at this point I gotta play really careful with my Wishy-Washy, because it's probably gonna be one of my main ways to probably get this game in check. So here I'm gonna go into my Drampa, and seeing that he specs, he's not gonna stay in and click Scald. So here I'm gonna click Dragon Pulse instead of Thunderbolt. As he goes into Electros, I click Dragon Pulse and I get a crit, and if I did 3% more, this thing would have been dead. But this is crazy. But seeing that I outsped first and that he outsped the next turn, that kind of confirms me that we are speed tying right now. And I'm really hoping I win this speed tie. So here I'm gonna take a risk. And I'm gonna click Dragon Pulse and hope that I win the speed tie. I click Dragon Pulse. No, he goes first. Gets 50% on me, and now my Drampa's at 50%, and this is actually pretty bad. As now he brings in the Tornadus, and I have no intel on what this thing is. I was thinking of sacking my Dawn Fan, but I was like, no, I think I'm just gonna stay in with Drampa. And the thing is that if he's not Life Orb, I live this Hurricane. If he is, I die. If he has Superpower, it doesn't matter. So, taking a risk, if he just went for U-turn the first turn, I probably would have switched out. But seeing that I have no intel on this Tornadus, I'm gonna stay in and just click Roost. Try and stall out Rain. Goes for Hurricane, he does kill me, and he is Life Orb. So, unfortunate that because of that speed tie, because of me losing that speed tie, I wasn't able to be at full HP and actually take a hit from the Tornadus and actually find out if it's Life Orb or not without leaving him on dead. So here I might go into my Tornadus counter, which is my Dedenne. And here he goes for U-turn, finally. And here, I just click Nuzzle, because nothing benefits from it. And this Mesmer gets paralyzed. Alright, cool. So here I go for Volt Switch, and all I know is that this thing is probably like near max HP. I don't know what's set, I don't know anything. I go into my Dawn Fan as he does click Side Shot, gets rid of my Dawn Fan. So we are 3-4, and this isn't looking good. So here I might go to my Wishy-Washy, as Hawlucha with Rock MZ doesn't kill, and the Dene isn't meant to do damage. So here I'm gonna go into my Wishy-Washy, and I'm just gonna straight up click Hydro. I do damage to Tornadus, I do good damage to Mesprit and Aggron. I 2-hit KO Mesprit with Hydro Pump, and if he goes into Politoed, I just get a Rain Boost. So here I'm gonna go for Hydro Pump. As he goes into the Politoed, get some rocks damage, Rain comes up, we land this Hydro Pump, and it is a 2-hit KO. So looking at calcs, assuming that he has specs, he gets nothing that can really hit me for hard damage other than Hidden Power Grass or HP Electric. Other than that, I should take any hit pretty well, as I am Assault Vest. So I don't really have any other play. The Dene dies, Hawlucha dies, so really I'm just going to stay in, not risk any miss. I'm just going to simply click Earthquake, and that's what I'm going to do right now. But this man pulls out the Hyper Beam, and we kill the Politoed. But this man pulled out the freaking Hyper Beam, and if you actually look at it, I think Hyper Beam is like base 130. It does more damage than any super effective hidden power on Wishy-Washy. So even though that was kind of just like a YOLO move that he just slapped on there, it actually did like, it actually kind of helped him there because it got a lot more chip damage on me before he died. So I don't know if that was great prep or that was just like, I don't know. Either way, it helps him. So now it's a 3v3 match, and it's a kind of dying real quick. So here he goes on a Tornado Starion, and this is where it comes down to it. I'm a Salt Vest, and he's Life Orb. I live a Hurricane. I should live a Hurricane. And I'm not sure about Grass Knight. I totally forgot, but I'm pretty sure we live a Hurricane from this thing, like guaranteed. So he clicks Hurricane. We live barely, no confusion. And we're able to take out this Tornadus with Ice Beam. Oh my god. Like legit, if we didn't get rid of that Tornadus, this thing would have been like... Oh yeah, and we go back into school form. I was so hyped about living and killing that I totally forgot about school form. So right now, we have this Wishy-Washy, solo Wishy-Washy in the rain against a Mesprit and Mega Aggron. Here he goes in a Mesprit, and I'm thinking like, okay, I should outspeed anyway. So here I'm gonna click Hydro, get as much damage off as possible, so Rocky and Zeon Hawlucha can kill the Mesprit. I click Hydro, we miss! Dang it, Tilapia. And he gets paralyzed, so it's a good turn. But he wastes a rain. We waste a rain a turn. We get the Hydro Pump this time, but he clicks Healing Wish, and the rain stopped, and he brings in the Mega Aggron, and now he's back up to like pretty much full. So at this point, basically, I kind of need this Hydro Pump damage because High Jump Kick on Hawlucha is kind of a roll depending on his spread, and it's Spadef, so I'm pretty sure it's like a roll. So like to guarantee it, I need this Hydro Pump damage sort of. So I'm gonna go for Hydro Pump, get 13% off, as he actually clicks Roar, and I don't know why he clicked Roar. Honestly, he could have just killed me right there, but he forces me into my Hawlucha. So I mean, it's not a bad scenario for me. But here, it's 3-1. My only play is to click High Jump Kick right now, and I should do like at least 50%, if not average. I click High Jump Kick, we don't miss. We do 56%. So that does really good damage. And here he clicks Heavy Slam, and we almost die because Hawlucha's freaking lightweighted as hell. But at this point, there's one way I can lose this match, and that's if he has Protect on Mega Aggron. If he clicks it right here, and my Hawlucha dies, then that's kind of a problem. Because the Dene can't kill with Volt Switch, and Wishy-Washy dies upon switching. Actually, never mind. I didn't think about it at the time. But here I click Flying Press. It is neutral, and it doesn't kill. But I knew it wasn't gonna kill. But here, Hawlucha dies. It did what it needed to. And here we're gonna go into our Dene, the threat that is the cheese himself, Velveeta, about to take on this Mega Aggron. Who would have thought that out of my whole team, where I have a Donphan, Hawlucha, Wishy-Washy, Drampa, and not even counting Umbreon, but like out of all 6 months, of course, this is the threat. The Dene is here to bring on the first win of the NPA for the Big Island Weasels. Oh god, let's go. But yep, the Big Island Weasels take a nice 2-0 win against the Waikato Watchogs. Wishy-Washy living barely without a Solvez really came in clutch. I don't know if Grass Knot would have made a difference. I probably would have lost. But overall, that was a really close game. And now, just to back what I was saying, is that if he had Protect and I clicked High Jump Kick and then Hawlucha died, thing is that from 26%, Max Spadef, careful, max HP, the Dene doesn't kill with Volt Switch. I need 2 Volt Switches. So now that I think about it, I could have just clicked High Jump Kick. And just if he had Protect, I would have died, gone into the Dene, click Volt Switch, and I go into my Wishy-Washy, sack that off, and then go back into the Dene, click Volt. Alright, so it could have been a 3-0. So that kind of sucks now that I think about it. But overall, that was our battle right there for the Waikato Watchogs and our week 1 match. So, yep, Big Island Weasels starting off pretty strong with the 2-0 win. And of course, out of our whole team, the Dene and a loner fish is the only one surviving right now. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Like to support your Big Island Weasels, and hopefully we take this championship. and subscribe for more leaked content, and I don't know, maybe other stuff. I don't know what else I'm gonna put out for you guys, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.